Alright everybody, yo, so we're doing another episode of VickCook. Today I'm making salmon again. Today I'm going to try to do, well actually this is going to be a start. I'm doing a challenge kind of. I'm going to do fish all month. That's the goal at least. So we're going to start with salmon. I've made it many times before. So I'm going to try something new today. What I've done this already, was I took some mango and habanero peppers, and I kind of just shaved it. I kind of just shaved it down, and it was like a little pasty residue. I kind of just scraped that off, and this is what's left of that. So I got about a good 60-40 ratio. 60 being the salmon. You want more salmon than habanero, unless you really want it really spicy. But so far that's really spicy. I had a mango from there, and it's really spicy, really hot. And then I did, so I figured, you know, I always do applewood rub on stuff. I figured, what if I just try to shave actual apple? So I probably should have did a red apple, but we just gonna see how it comes out. It is a green apple, so it's gonna be a little bit more sour, which would also complement a little bit of the white wine that I like to put on there. It'll give it like a nice little citrus, not citrus, but a soury taste to a little bite. So that might be interesting. So what I'm going to do first is, I got my mango habanero, so I'm just pretty much going to just rub it on the salmon. And we're going to do this in parts, so that way I can try a little bit of everything when it's all said and done. So I tried to let this kind of sit a little bit. It's mostly like a paste, but I tried to let it dry out as much as I could. Oh, actually, before I do that, I'm going to put a little, so this is just some regular white wine. I'm just gonna kind of splash that on the fish, just to get it nice and moist, so that way this stuff will stick to it. Now, if I probably should get a dehydrator and dehydrate all this stuff, so that way it'll be like more like a dry rub. But this is like a wet paste, so I don't know what's gonna happen, but we're gonna try it. But I do imagine that it will dry and crisp up, hopefully, over the fish. And then we'll be left with, once it dries and crisp up, and then all the flavor should seep down in there. So that's kind of what we're aiming for when we do this. And I got plenty of this, so I don't want to make too much of that. So, and it smells really good. I'm noticing that off might be the wine hitting the mango, but it smells really nice, and it doesn't smell too spicy, but it believe me, it is. You make this, it's definitely going to be spicy. Even like the juice from the mango was really spicy. So next, I've never done this before, but I always want to try it, so I'm just going to squeeze out a little bit of this extra juice. And I don't think the juice will be too bad, but so this is just my apple. I'm just going to kind of spread that around on there. Just as I never had apple on salmon. And I think it might be good. We don't know. We won't know until we try. So I'm just going to do a little small section of that. That's my experiment side. There we go. We'll just spread that out a little bit. And then I'm going to hit it with, this is just some basil and a little bit of basil and Old Bay. So I'm just going to add a little bit of that to the apple. And then, yeah. So add a little bit of that to the apple side. Now for this is just, I guess, my regular side that I do all the time anyways. I'll just keep this simple because I want it to be good. So I'm going to go ahead and go with my citrus blend. So I'm just going to shake a little bit of that over it. And then we'll hit it with some herbs, just some basil. Real simple, nothing too fancy. And then, of course, we'll add a little bit of mixed peppercorn. I'll add it over the whole entire fish. And it's simple. It's easy as that. So we're going to go take this right on the grill. I already got the smoker adjusted and everything. So join me in a second outside. Alrighty, so today I'm going to use my Oklahoma Joe, my drum smoker. So what I did was I got the plate in there, and I put the plate in there to try to deflect some heat. And then I put the rack on the lower part of it. I kind of like doing that better. I feel like it sits more in the smoke a little bit better than up top. Then I got my smoker right now. It's at 225, so that's pretty good. I'll keep it at that. This I want a nice slow smoke it. Yeah, just slow smoke it, just enough to get the flavors on there and everything, and just enough to cook the fish, but not overcook it. So we will set this right here. Let me go ahead and tilt this up a little bit. There we go. All right. So now you guys can see what I see. So pretty much I just got my salmon, and I'm just going to throw it right on top, right there. Beautiful. So now it's just going to sit there, and I'm going to close it, and then we'll come back and check it every so often and take a look at it. I'll probably let it go like this for a good, actually, you know what? We'll let that sit for a good 40, we'll let it sit for 40 minutes, untouched, unbothered, and then we'll come back out and take a look at it. It should take about 1.5 hours to cook if everything goes right. I've cooked salmon, usually I try to aim for about 2 hours. That's why I know it gets nice, really tender, really juicy. But if the fire kicks up, it'll cook sooner than later. But right now it's looking good. I do actually have like a little bit of a blue smoke there because I put some I put applewood chunks in here, so it's nice thin smoke. I got it closed off, so I'm gonna keep it nice and low. And yeah, I'm gonna go inside now and prep the veggies that I will be doing. And the veggies, I'll just throw that on the side later when it's almost done cooking. I'll probably put the veggies on the side just to steam them a little bit. And yeah, so we will be back shortly. All right, so for the veggies, I'm gonna try something a little new that I haven't tried before, but pretty much I'm just too lazy to cook everything separate. So I got this idea. I got one of these long red peppers. It's not spicy. It's just regular, just a regular typical pepper. So I'm gonna take that out, and then what I did was I'm gonna cut these down the middle. Now you can actually like stuff these with whatever you want. Or you can serve them like this. You can put like cheese, or if you want to make like a shrimp salad, you put that in there and serve it like that. Anything you want to make, you can put in there. So what I did was I just kind of stretched them open a little bit. Put a little bit of my chopped onions in here. And then I cut down some asparagus, and I just put a couple pieces in between there. Just like that. And that's pretty much it right there. And then I got my foil. Oh, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of pepper jack cheese, and I'm just going to lay that right on top, kind of like in there if I can. But just anywhere inside of is ideal. And that's pretty much where we want it. So I got everything. I got my foil set up. So pretty much what I'm going to do is, I'll show you guys in a second. I'm going to take, we'll take some black pepper, just kind of sprinkle that on in there, and we will take just a little bit of olive oil. We don't need much, but I'm just gonna put it on, put a little bit on the foil, so that when the olive oil heats up, it's gonna kind of, you know, cook the skin a little bit, so it's nice and firm. Then we're just gonna wrap this up like that, and we can just roll that up. And I'm going to leave the sides kind of open so some heat will get in there. And yeah, little veggie taco. And that's how we're doing it. So let me go ahead and add peppercorn to the rest of these. Now I never made these before, so I don't know how long they should be on the grill for. But I'm going to put them on the grill in a little bit. That way I can keep an eye on them. I'll watch them when I wash my salmon. They should cook, everything should cook slow because it is in the smoker. I don't see this cooking too fast. If it does cook, if it does finish cooking, what I can do is I can always just take these off and just kind of let them, or I can just put them on a warmer, or I could just set them off and put them in the oven or microwave just to keep them warm. Alright, it's gotta get faster with that. A little bit of olive oil, a little bit of olive oil for you, a little bit of olive oil for you, a little bit of olive oil for you. There we go. So pretty much you get all your vegetables in one bite, little one bite taco. And normally I'll cut up my peppers and onions, and then I'll have asparagus, and I'll just make it kind of like that. But I figure I'll kind of make this fun, make this a little fun food. So we got all that, we got all our foil together. We will take this outside. I'm gonna put it on the grill probably now in a little bit. All right, so we're back out here. I went ahead and opened my vents up so I get a little bit more heat inside here. Salmon's going nice as planned. It's going nice as planned. I'm noticing all the liquid is starting to melt, so hopefully that flavor will get deep inside there. So now what I'm doing, I'm just gonna take my veggies and I'm just gonna throw them anywhere I can on here. Just try to find space for them. Actually, I could put them down over there on the grill. There we go. So yeah, right on the grates, and they'll cook like that. There we go. I'll stack them on top of each other if I have to. All right, there we go. Uh-oh. All right, so I got them on there. So we're just gonna let it do its thing. So I'm gonna open up the vents a little bit just to get more heat to it, because I would like that top to kind of crust a little bit if I can get all those wet veggies or wet fruit to kind of like dry up and crisp. We'll see what happens there, but smells good. Smells really good. So I'm gonna let this sit for a little bit, and yeah, we'll be back very shortly. Oh yeah, I forgot. Shout outs to one of my subscribers. He actually had a question about this, so I'm gonna address it here. The question he had with he was saying he got his new Oklahoma Joe smoker, and he was leaking. He knows it was leaking on the side. And he said he sent the email out to them, and they said you just got to get seasoned enough. He said he cooked on it about a dozen times or so. So I told him I'm gonna try to smoke it out and see what if I notice any leaks or anything. And when I'm I pretty much I don't have any leaks on the side of this thing. I'll kind of move this around. But now this is like an old little leak stain, and it did come from this bolt here. So if you got these bolts, you can go around and maybe tighten them up if you wanted to. But it's not leaking now. It hasn't, I don't remember it leaking, but I usually keep it in the grass. So I got it on concrete just to see if it does leak. But so far I haven't had any issues with anything leaking, sort of say. But I do have like the previous leak stains. So at one point it did leak, and then I guess as the grill gets more seasoned, it seals up or magic happens, and then it doesn't leak anymore. But yeah, so shout outs to the subscriber. If you got any questions or anything, just let me know. I'll do my best to try to answer them for you. But we'll get back to the fish in a little bit. I'm just gonna let it sit, do its thing. I'm gonna go sit down, have me a beer, and then we'll see what happens later. Alrighty, so this is they're pretty much about done. So that's how the salmon looks. I took a little sample off the edge. It tastes pretty good. It's really nice and juicy. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let it sit on there for a little bit, just to make sure this fat part over here gets cooked a little bit better. But what I'm gonna do is pretty much just I'm gonna try to really carefully drizzle just a little bit more wine on top of it. So I got a little bit more wine, just carefully trying to splash it on there. There, that should be good enough. And then I got a little bit more herbage. This is just the basil, a little bit of pepper. Whoop, don't want that falling in there. Yeah, there's just a little bit of basil and herbs and stuff. So I'm just gonna sprinkle that over the whole fish. Just cause, just the final little touches. Bam. Alright, there we go. And yeah, we'll let it sit like that, and we're getting ready to cut into it in a little bit. Oh, and I also forgot, we will check on the veggies. So this is what I made. Alright, that's not too bad. It's a little hot. I'll just put it on here for now. So we'll just go ahead and open these up and see what we got. The cheese is melted. Ooh, as you can see inside there, the cheese is melted. We got the asparagus, and the pepper is nice and roasted. It's a little soft, but it's still gonna have a little crunch to it. So I think that's good. I think that's a success. Gonna go ahead and close these up again, and we're gonna get ready to start plating it up in a little bit, and I'll show you guys how that final thing looks. All right, so I'm taking the veggies off now, and they're looking pretty delicious. They're looking pretty delicious. The cheese is melted, the pepper's soft, and the asparagus is nice and cooked. It's got a little crunch to it. I know it is because I kind of nibbled on one, but so it's gonna be nice. It's nice and beautiful. If you want, you could add more cheese on the top, but I think I'm gonna leave it just as is because I don't want it too cheesy. And yep, that's how those look. I'm gonna go ahead and set this to the side for now. Let that just stay warm, and then we'll plate up our fish in just a moment. All right, and this is it. This is the final picture of the salmon. I'm gonna go ahead and chop this up and plate it, and then looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. The mango habanero kind of just rendered down. It's like a little paste over it. And then my apple's in the middle. That kind of looks weird. I'm a little skeptical about that. But my herbs and stuff doing nice and delicious. Beautiful coat on the salmon. It's not over smoked, not overcooked, but just right. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. All right, and this is the final picture of it. So I got mango habanero here. Yeah, so over here I got a mango habanero. Applewood little piece, and I got a little bit of wine, butter, herb sauce just for whatever. Then I got the pepper in the back, as you can see. Nice little quick lunch. So yep, that's the final plate. Tune in for the next episode. I'm gonna get down to eating. Really, I had a little nibbles. It's really nice and soft. As you see, it's really juicy right there.